If you are just planning to start a poultry farm and you do not know how to go about it, then this particular video is what you need to watch right now. Because in today's video, I'm going to be breaking down to you what you need to do and how you need to go about it when you want to start your own poultry farm. Whether you want to go into broiler production or you want to go into layer farming, then this particular video is what you need to watch right now. So in today's video, we'll be discussing about the mindset, because that is the most important thing. The mindset is the first thing you really need to know. Then we as well be talking about the structure, that is the structure where your bed will be kept, the dimensions, the sizes and the likes. We'll be talking about your budgeting. We'll be talking about the different types of poultry farming. We'll be talking everything about poultry farming. So you just have to do right now is that sit back and watch this video till the very end, so that you can actually get the right information from this particular video. I welcome you back to Farm to Fortune, where passion meets productivity in the world of farming. If you are just joining this channel for the very first time, kindly hit the subscribe button and then turn on your bell notification so that you will not miss out when next we post new content. Each and every one of you that will be planning to start a poultry farming, the first thing I want you to understand is that your mindset is the first thing. While every business owner, the main reason why everybody goes into business, irrespective of whatever business we are doing, same thing as applicable to poultry farming, the main reason we are in this business is because you want to make profit. So the first thing you want to know is that your mindset. So one thing about this poultry farming is that it has both the good side as well as the bad side. So as much as poultry farming is profitable and you really want to make so much profit from this particular venture, I want you to have it at the back of your mind as well, that there are also bad days. So when these bad days come, it is not left to you to actually know how to handle that. So the first thing is your mindset. Have it at the back of the mind that we have both the good days as well as the bad days. So you should always prepare your mind against that. So that is the first thing you really want to know. And the second thing you want to know is that what type of poultry farming do you want to venture into? Do you want to go into broiler production or you want to go into layer farming? So that is the second thing. You have to sit down and then write it down that, what is your goal? Do you want to start raising broilers for meat production? Do you want a short-term goal or you want a long-term goal? So if you want a short-term goal, you definitely want to venture into a broiler farming. But if you know that you want a long-term goal, you want to go into layer production. So that is the second thing you really need to know, that what is your goal? What type of poultry farming do you want to venture into? Is it the broiler farming or you want to go into layer production? So after your mindset and then knowing the type of production you want to go into, the next thing we'll be talking about now is the structure. So when we are talking about structure, you want to ask yourself that, do you want to rent your own farm? Maybe you want to rent a farm, or do you want to build your own structure from scratch? And when it comes to building your own structure, you want to know the dimension of the structure that you want to use. So when it comes to structure, the dimension is quite different. The dimension for broilers is quite different from layers. So whether you want to go into broiler production or you want to go into layer production, you really need to understand the dimension of these two farms. So let's say, for example, you want to build your own structure from scratch now, and then you want to go for maybe broiler production. The next thing you want to do is that you want to know the capacity of what you want to go for. Whether you want to do 100 broilers, you want to do 200 broilers, you want to do 500 broilers, you want to do 1000 broilers or more. So this is going to determine the structure, that is the dimension of your structure. So let's take broilers for example. For a broiler bed now, a broiler bed will take a space of 1 square foot from day old till they have 6 weeks of age. So until 6 weeks or 7 weeks of age, a broiler bed is going to take a space of 1 square foot. So that is going to determine the number of beds. The capacity you want to do will now determine the total number of square foot you will be using. So let's say, for example, now you want to go for 100 broilers. That means 100 broilers is going to take a space of 100 square foot. So that's the dimension of what you'll be using to construct your own structure. So when 100 broilers is going to take 100 square foot, 100 square feet, the next thing you want to now do is that you now want to divide that 100 square feet into length and width. And when we are talking about 100 square feet, there are so many ways you can do it. You can use 10 by 10, you can use 20 by 5, you can use 25 by 4. But one thing is, you cannot use 10 by 10 because 10 by 10 is going to give you a square form, and then you do not want that to happen because a broiler pen cannot be in square form. It has to be in rectangle form. So for 100 broiler beds now that will be taking a space of 100 square feet, the next thing you want to do is that you can make it maybe 25 feet by 4 feet or 20 feet by 5 feet, and then ensure that the longest side of your pen is facing the east direction so as to avoid direct sunlight into your pen. As well as your height, you want to ensure that your height is as high as between 8 meters to 12 meters high from the placement, not from the floor ground, like from the placement. I'm going to show you this right now. So this particular building now, let me share it with you. So this particular building now, if you look at this placement now, this is like 2 blocks. This place right now, this place right here, this is like 2 blocks. So the height from here to the rooftop should be between 8 meters high to 12 meters high, so that there can be enough ventilation as well as reduce its stress. And when using your wood, maybe you want to use a wood or you want to use metal strap, don't worry, whosoever you want to give the construction to, maybe your bricklayer and your carpenter, they know exactly what to do. All you just have to do that, just give them the dimension of what you want, tell them what you want, and tell them the kind of rooftop that you want, and they are definitely going to give you a very good construction. So that's on construction. And you as well want to use galvanized nets, something like this, galvanized nets, like cover it right. So that's that on your structure. You want to like know your mindset, you want to determine the type of poultry farming you want to go into. Then the next thing is your structure. After your structure, the next thing you want to know now is that you want to know your mode of operation. So are you operating a automatic farming system? Are you operating a semi-automatic, or you want to go into manual? So do you want to use a deep heater system, or you want to go for battery cage? So that is another thing you have to have at the back of your mind before you even think of budgeting or the capital you really need to start your business. So if you want ease, if you want, you do not want stress, just go in for battery cage. Whether you want to do broiler production or you want to do layers, battery cage is still the best, especially when it is automated. So the only thing you just have to do is maybe when it comes to their cleaning as well as their feeding, but the water is going to be automated, and then the production is going to be automated. So you do not even have to stress yourself looking for wood shaving, sawdust, or some sorts like that. Because if you are just starting small, go for deep litters as well. So deep litter is also good. Whether you want to go for manual, maybe you want to use manual feeders, you want to give them water manually and the like. So you want to decide on your mode of operation. Are you going to be using an automatic drinker, or you want to go for flip drinkers? So this is an example of a flip drinkers in this pen right now. So that is that on mode of operation. After your structure, you want to determine your mode of operation, and after this is when we now want to like do your budgeting. That's okay. Oh, now that you are done with, you have already prepared your mindset that poultry farming has both good side and bad side. You can expect anything, and then you have decided on the type of poultry farming you want to venture into. You already have your structure in place. The next thing you want to think of right now is your budgeting. That's all. How much beds are you going to be starting with, and how much is it going to cost you to complete this production cycle? Whether you want to go for broilers, which is going to take maybe 6 weeks, 5 weeks or 6 weeks, or you want to go into layer production. So if you are going to layer production, whether you want to get day or cheaper, you want to get point of cage or point of lay, you want to do your calculation in such a way that you have to do your budget that will last you until those birds break even, maybe until they are 24 weeks. So breaking even simply means that the money you will be making from the eggs you are going to be selling will be enough to feed those birds, as well as you will as well make your own profits from it. So that is what break even is. So until then, you want to ensure that you do all your budgeting, all the money you'll be needing, you'll be spending on these birds. You want to have this money on ground, and it is also advisable for you that you have more than enough money on ground. So when you are done with that, the next thing you want to do is that you also want to like go for your equipment. So what are the equipment and the materials you'll be needing for this production? Oh, will you be needing a solar bulb? Will you be needing electricity? So how are you going to go about your electricity? Will you be using lamp? Will you be like inviting an electrician to work your electricity into your farm? Will you be using solar? you then go into your drinkers, your feeders, your tray feeders. Oh, how many beds are you starting with? You are starting with 100. How many tray feeders would you be needing? How many adult feeders would you be needing? How many drinkers would be enough for this particular production? Do you understand? So that's on your equipment. And after your equipment, the next thing you want to do is that you want to clean your pen. So whether you are just building a structure or you already have a production and you want to like clean your pen, before you bring in your chicks, you want to ensure that you clean and disinfect your pen. So if you are just building your own structure, you do not really need to do much. You do not need to fumigate. You do not need to even disinfect your pen. All you just have to do is just wash your pen with soap and water. You can as well disinfect as well. Maybe disinfect using hypo or some stuff like that. But if you know that you already have a production ongoing, you want to do where to like scrape your pen. You want to clean the whole of your ceiling. You want to remove any form of cobwebs on your ceiling, on your walls, on your nets, any form of cobwebs whatsoever. You want to scrape your litters and pack those litters. You dispose them or you set them off. And after that, you go into deep washing. When it comes to washing, you wash from the rooftop to that top. You wash everywhere. That is the rooftop, the net, the floor, and everything. Ensure you wash with soap and water. Then after washing with soap and water, you as well want to like disinfect the whole house as well as fumigate the house. And then this process might take you exactly 2 weeks, because it is very, very important for you to like leave your pen to rest for a while, minimum of 1 week, provided there is no disease outbreak on your farm. But if you ever experience a disease outbreak, it is always advisable for you to leave your pen to rest for at least 2 weeks before you bring in another set of beds. So when you are done cleaning your beds, the next thing you want to do is that you want to get your day-old chicks. So if you know that you want to go into layer production, whether you be getting point of cage or point of lay, get it wherever you want to get it. Without going for broilers, the next thing you want to do is that you want to get your day-old chicks. And it is always advisable for you to like get your day-old chicks from a reliable source. So when getting your day-old chicks, after getting your day-old chicks, it is very, very important for you to like weigh those beds, weigh those day-old chicks first. The standard initial weight of a day-old chick should be between 40 grams to 45 grams. Average weight should be around 42 grams. So anything below 40 grams is not really hiding, because this is the starting point of your production. If your chicks are not weighing well from start, that means those chicks might not really perform well in terms of, because their immunity might actually have been tampered with, which means that they can be highly susceptible to disease outbreak. So I had a case in my last production for the year 2025 where I had a Newcastle outbreak, and I kid you not that the beds that I took that period, they gave me an average weight of 29 grams. So it was literally that they brought in runs from me. All the beds were extremely small. Like 29 grams is absolutely not it. So any bed you are getting that is below 38 grams, 39 grams, 40 grams, it is not really ideal, because you might not really be getting good results at the end of the day. So ensure that you are getting your day-old chicks from a very reliable source. And the last but not the least is that you want to get your medications and your vaccine in check. Ensure you have the vaccination schedule. You vaccinate your pets, and as well as you medicate your pets. The first week of their life, ensure you give them glucose, you give them multivitamins and some antibiotics to actually strengthen them. And in subsequent time, if your pets fall sick, you can as well treat them.
Before I continue, if you are serious about raising healthy broilers without losing money to disease, I've created a complete broiler medication and vaccination master guide. Let me be honest with you, most broiler farmers don't fail because of feed, they fail because of wrong medication and poor vaccination timing. That's exactly why I created my broiler medication and vaccination master guide, so you know exactly what to give, when to give it, and how to avoid costly mistake. I will drop the link in the description so you go check check it out.
And the last but not the least is that with everything being said, the most important thing is that you really need to get the right knowledge. You need to get the right knowledge, because if you do not know what to do at the right time, you might really not get the best out of it, except you want to do trial and error, which is not bad as well. So if you do trial and error today, if you don't get to try this production cycle, you might actually try in another production cycle, you keep trying, and then until you get it right. But the most important thing about having a successful poultry farm or poultry production is that you want to ensure your biosecurity is perfect. You want to ensure that your management is key. And when we are talking about management, we are talking about your feed management, we are talking about your water management, we are talking about your light management, we are talking about you yourself as the manager, that is the person that will be in charge of the production as a whole, because you have to use your hair, you have to use your eyes, you have to use your nose, you have to use all your senses, all your body senses on this particular, on your production, because your ear is what you use to actually listen to your birds. So you listen to them. Are they sneezing? What sign are they giving you? So you understand. Your nose is what we use for your smell. Oh, is there ammonia build up here? Oh, is the ventilation on this farm enough? So your nose is the one that is going to, you will be using to like actually smell. You use your eye, which is your senses, your eye sense, to actually detect if there is any change in the color of their food, how your birds are performing, are they eating well, are they doing, you know, there are so many things you need to do when it comes to management practices. Management entails a whole lot of things, and then you want to ensure that you put all of these in check. So when you ensure all of these, I want to assure you that you are really going to perform excellently well and run a successful poultry farming production. So before you venture into poultry farming, these are the things you want to like have at the back of your mind. These are the things you want to like know before you even venture into poultry farming in the first place. So poultry farming is not just about making profit. This is how much money you want to make. There are so many things that actually goes into this production, and if you do not get it right, I don't know what to say about that. So that is that about you starting a poultry farm. So if this is something that interests you, these are the things you really need to have at the back of your mind and work towards for you to have a successful poultry farming. If you find this video very helpful, kindly hit the subscribe button and turn on your bell notification so that you are not going to miss out when next we post new content. And guys, I'm going to see you in the next video. Bye.